Well, this is coming to you on December 30th, 1961, and coming to you, of course, from Vienna, Virginia, where we celebrated one half of our Christmas this year. The other half, as you know, we celebrated at the farm, and we're happy that Uncle Harrington and Aunt Ines were able to uh, come down from Philadelphia and to be with us through the part of the holiday season. Now, actually, the reason for starting this early this year is the fact that, as you know, we made one tremendous rush job of getting the tape out on Christmas Day, and it cost me $3.60 postage to get it to you before January 1 so that you could all be together when you heard it. Now, Uncle Harrington is here, and he would like to extend to you greetings from the United States. Uncle Harrington?
We have, right now, we're sitting in the Ulrich's place here in Vienna. Beautiful day, snow on the ground, children outside sliding. In reading the papers, we see that England has been having snow, real cold weather. We hope that it has not inconvenienced you a great deal over there at this time. We listened to the tape that you sent Ricky and Peggy, and we were quite interested, particularly as you sent us your good wishes, and we're now sending ours back to you. One of the things that still stands out in our memory of our trip to England is a wonderful time we had with the Pegs in Wales. We have yet to find any place that we have been where we were as well treated and enjoyed ourselves as thoroughly as we did there. We were very sorry to leave you that Saturday and hope that someday we will be able to come back and see you again, or we would love to have you come over and see us in Philadelphia. That's all. With the best wishes for a new year.
Hello, this is Ina speaking. How's Nancy and Peg this morning? We just stayed with Betty and Rick overnight. Betty has a very lovely home. It really is quite nice. It's well built and covers quite a bit of ground, all on one floor. I'm sure you'd enjoy that. Betty is well. She looks well. And Rick, I'm speaking of the father now, is working. He seems to enjoy his work very much. It's too bad they have to leave this nice home and go down into Richmond, but I'm sure they can do as well as they have here, that his confidence will build up and he'll get along very well. Reggie is quite a young man now. He wears eyeglasses. Very, very tall and very attractive. Quiet, and I'm sure he's studious, for he's been doing a lot of reading. I really didn't mean Reggie. I meant Rick, the oldest one. Reggie is an active youngster, very lively and very bright. He likes to play games. He's just had his Uncle Harrington down on his knees riding horses with him. Mary is quiet. She's the one blue-eyed girl. Little straggly hair and pretty eyes. I'm sure she has a nice mind in back of that quietness. She doesn't say much, but she observes just about everything. And of course, little Miffy is a lively one. She jumps around and plays. She wants to be the center of attraction. I don't know. how fast they're going to grow up, but they're really giving Betty a run for her money. Little Johnny is a dream. I wish you could see him. He's chubby. He's darling. He almost wobbles when he walks, and then he stands there and looks at you with his beautiful brown eyes, and you just want to pick him up and squeeze him. I'll give him a squeeze for you. I won't talk too long, Nancy. There's a spell of cold weather. We're here. We're going up to Isabella's. We're going to see her daughter Phyllis, and then we're going on up through Gettysburg and the Turnpike way home tomorrow. But everything's grand, and I hope that both you and Reggie are well. I hope that arthritis is much better. I'd like to say remember me to Mary and give Johnny our regards. Tell Mrs. Davis we were asking for her. We'd like very much to see you again. And please do save up those pennies so you can come and visit us sometime. We'll look forward to it. If we're ever over in that direction, of course, we wouldn't pass you up. We had many pleasant memories and would love to see you. So now I'm going to say Happy New Year. I hope you have the best of everything and one of the finest years you've ever had in your lives. Bye now, Nancy, and bye now, Reg. I love your pictures, and I have them both where I can see them.
Oh, there it goes.
Betty?
Good morning, Nancy and Reg, Mary and Herbert, John and Anthony from Isabella. This is Saturday before New Year's 1962, and a beautiful day. We are preparing to go to the country. Last evening we listened to the tape and enjoyed hearing your voices. I remember my father saying, "I do not want to meet your boyfriends. Just talk with them in the living room, and I shall know all that is necessary." I love you all and hope to see every one of you sometime. Each day is more beautiful than the last. And I've learned to thank our Lord each morning for each new day. Yes, we are all getting older, but we can always climb in on our shelves and read a good book. Our young people are quite capable of carrying on. Have a wonderful New Year. Best of wishes and love, Isabel.
Hello, Mommy and Daddy. It is now the 28th of November, almost a whole year since the first part of this tape was made. And Isabel and David and I are sitting in the dining room at 4006 West Franklin Street. And Isabel is waiting for her turn to put something on the tape.
Hello, Grandma and Grandpa and Anthony and Uncle John and Aunt Mary and Uncle Herbert. I hope you're all feeling well this year on 1962. I'm going to sing a song for you what's called America the Beautiful. A beautiful spacious sky, four and more rains of gray, four purple mountains majesty, go upon the freedom plain. America, America, God children's grace and being, and grandmother, good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Now I want to sing a song for you what's called Funny Little Squirrel. Funny little squirrel, running up the tree. You're fast, fast, fast as you can be. Now I'm going to sing for you the song what is called The Bus. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. The wheels on the bus go round, 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 round. The wheels on the bus go round, 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 all through the town. The horn on the bus goes toot, 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 toot. The horn on the bus goes toot, 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 all through the town. The money on the bus goes ding, 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 ding. The money on the bus goes ding, 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 all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wiper on the bus goes swish, 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 all through the town. The driver on the bus says, move on back, move on back, move on back. The driver on the bus says, move on back, all through the town.
Well, Isabel, I expect Grandma and Grandpa would like to know something about your school. What is the name of your school?
Mary Mumford,
And how far is it from the house?
1 mile,
How long does it take you to walk to school?
a half hour.
Do you go straight there?
Yes.
Isabel,
Yes.
tell me now, what did you do in school today, right from the time you got there?
Well,
You got there at 20 minutes of 9.
and I did my arithmetic with a reading group. Our teacher told us what to do,
Mm-hmm.
and we wrote in our writing book, and then we ate lunch. We had to check over our work, and then I got A minus and A on my arithmetic, and then when the bell rang, we went home.
Tell me, what do you do at the beginning of school? Do you have a little ceremony for the opening of school?
Well, our teacher we say good morning to her.
Do you pledge allegiance to the flag or not? No?
No,
Not anymore, huh?
no. We used to, for Thanksgiving off, and we used to bring food. Now we bring money
Oh, now you bring money? And where's the money going to go?
to the crippled children's hospital and some 3 other care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the rest of the names.
Maybe to the Red Cross, huh?
To the cross too.
Did you have a nice Halloween party at school?
Yes,
And what were you dressed as?
a witch.
Yes, you were a real ugly old witch, weren't you? Huh? Now let's see, with the brownies, you're going to have a Christmas party, aren't you?
Yes,
When's that going to be? In a couple of weeks?
on November the
No, 15th of December.
15th of December.
And what are you going to do that afternoon?
We're going to go to crippled children's hospital and going to go to the old lady's home. I don't know where we're going to go.
And what are you going to do there?
We're going to sing Christmas carols.
Oh, that'll be very nice, won't it?
Yes.
And then what are you going to do afterwards?
We're going to go back to our brownie trooping, then go home.
Oh, but you're going to have a party when you get back to your
Yeah.
brownie meeting place. Where do you go to brownies?
Westminster Presbyterian Church.
Now, what else do you do with your time besides go to school and go to brownies?
I go to choir, go to church, And then I just play, come home and do my homework, then play. On the summer, I just sometimes go swim and have a summer vacation and play.
And how are you coming along with the piano?
Fine.
You can play what, 2 pieces?
Yes.
Now, Isabel, would you like to tell Grandma and Grandpa what your baby brother looks like?
Well, he looks like he's real cute, and he has a high forehead like my father knows, like my father, my sister. I think he's gonna have blonde hair and blonde eyebrows
And blue eyes.
and blue eyes. That is all.
Now, how about making your Christmas greetings now?
Goodbye, Grandma and Grandpa. Till next time, love from Miffy.
Well, Mommy and Daddy, the next one on the list is Mary, and she's waiting here very anxiously, wondering what she's going to say at first. And then after her, the boys will come, and there will be time for Rick and I to say something too. Now, here's Mary.
Hello, Grandma and Grandpa and Anthony. Today I shall sing a song. The song is called Quiet is the Night. Quiet is the night. Warm is the breeze. Dim is the moonlight over the trees. Sleep, children, sleep. Be not a harm. Angels on guard you, keep you from harm. Now she shall sing the song called The Happy Wonder. I love to go a-wandering along the mountain track, and as I go, I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Valerie, 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 my knapsack on my back. I love to wander by the stream that dances in the sun. So joyously it calls to me, come join my happy song. Valerie, 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 come join my happy song. I wave my hand to all I meet, and they wave back to me. And blackbirds call so well and sweet from every greenwood tree. Valerie, 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 from every greenwood tree. High overhead the skylark wing, they never rest at home, but just like me they love to sing as over world we roam. Valerie, 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 as over world we roam. Now I shall sing Covered Wagon. Day after day the wagons are rolling, onward and westward we ever must roam. Roll along, covered wagons, take me safely to our sweet home. Night after night we sit round the campfire, singing the songs that remind us of home. Roll along, Take us safely to our new home. Someday we'll reach the land of our dreams. Settle and build on our land of our own. Roll along, covered wagon. Take us safely to our new home.
All right, now, Mary, I expect Grandma and Grandpa would like to know something about your day in school. What did you do after you got to school?
Well, after we get to school, we sit down in our seats and wait till our teacher calls our groups to get up and put our wraps away. Then, as usually, we read. Then we take out our phonics. Then she has this long list on the board that we are supposed to do in all day. Today I finished right after playing, so today I painted. And then our teacher called for our arithmetic books and our arithmetic homework. And then we ate lunch. And after we ate lunch, we did some more work in our arithmetic book. And after we did some more work in our arithmetic book, we went to the stage to act out this play called The Nutcracker and the Mouse King. Then after that we did our spelling. Then after that we got ready to go home. We were 10 minutes before the bell rang, so we got to recite some of our animal reports.
All right, Mary. How long does it take you to go to and from school?
A half hour.
And do you have little friends you walk home with in the afternoon?
Yes.
You're in school a half an hour longer than Isabel every day, aren't you?
Yes.
What time do you get out of school?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
Yes.
And I expect Grandma would like to know what your teacher's name is.
Mrs. Rich and Miss Goldfarb is our student teacher.
And she helps Mrs. Roach, doesn't she?
Yes.
And how have you been? You had a very good report card the last time, didn't you?
Yes.
And did you bring your supplementary reading book home with you?
Yes.
Would you like to read a little bit to Grandmother? Mary?
Yes.
Why don't you describe your bedroom to Grandmother? Come on.
Well, we have our vanity. It's painted white and gold. And we sleep in a double bed. And at our vanity, you can look at your head because there is 3 mirrors. And there's 2 sides on the vanity. One's for Isabel, her name's on the back. One's for Mary, her name's on the back. And we have a bookcase painted white, and we have 2 windows. One window you can look at the house next door. The other window you can look in the backyard and see all the leaves. And when you sleep at night, you can see all the leaves at the trees.
Well, Mary, how do you like this new house?
Except one thing. When I used to live, I had this girlfriend named Mary Law. She had same initials, same first name. We used to call each other. Her name was Mary, and my name was E. And we had fun together. And her big sister was in my grade last year. And we had fun with her, too. Every day we'd go down to our dead-end street and we'd play on the line.
Well, Mary, how do you like Richmond, though, as compared to Siena?
No.
You don't?
No.
Don't you like living in a big city where you can go downtown? You wouldn't have been able to go to the state fair in Vienna. And you had fun the day Daddy took you to the state fair, didn't you?
Yes, but we still had
And what do
fun.
you do every Friday when Daddy comes home?
Well, if he's home before 8 o'clock or 9. If he's home before 8 o'clock or 9, we go swim with him. And this Friday I hope we do, 'cause he promised us.
And how is your swimming coming? He tells me you're like a fish in the water now. Is that true?
Yes, I'm swimming better than Reggie right
You are?
now. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Reggie'd think about that statement, do you?
But don't tell him.
Don't tell him, okay. Well now, how, you're in your second year in Brownies too, aren't you?
Yes.
And, you have a nice Brownie leader, don't you?
Yes.
And you go,
Ask me her name.
what is her name?
Mrs. Campbell and Mrs.
Morehouse.
Moorhead.
Morehead. She's Isabel's Sunday school teacher, isn't she?
Yes.
And I bet that some of the same girls are in your Brownie troop as are in your Sunday school class and in your class at school?
No.
No?
No.
Are there any from your Sunday school class there?
No.
How about from your choir?
No. A few are in Isabel's class. Yes, but none mine.
Oh, I see. You've made quite a few friends around here, though, haven't you?
Yes. One boy's named Stevie. And one girl's named Bonnie and Katie. And a boy named... And a girl named Holly. Now I'm going to tell you about me. How I look. I look like blue eyes, a high forehead like my father,
You're going to break that.
a nose like my father, I have yellow hair, it's stringy looking, and I'm 8.5 years old, going on 9 this March. Should I tell that?
Mhm.
And I have a baby brother who looks almost just like me. I hope he grows up like me. That's all I'm going to say. Right now, my new baby brother is sitting in the front room, and our mother just fed him some milk. And now I wish all Aunt Mary, Anthony, Grandma, Grandpa, Uncle John, Uncle Herbert, Uncle Herbert, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That is all.
Mommy and Daddy, it is now the 29th of November. At about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have just finished giving David his bath. And he's now anxiously waiting for his vitamins, which we have to give him diluted in water, and his cereal, which he started this week, and then his milk. Now you can hear him agitating in the background. He's getting quite anxious, so I'll get to work with his vitamins. Well, hello, John. How are you? Would you like to speak to your grandma and grandpa?
Hello, Grandpa and Grandpa. This is John. How did I say? How are you? And how is Uncle John?
What have you been doing this morning, John, since you got out of bed? What did you do after you got out of bed this morning, John? Go.
Downstairs in the play.
And what were you doing down in the playroom?
Looking for my scissors.
You like to cut out, don't you?
It's because I made the door and window on it.
You did? Is that where you keep your papers?
Mm-hmm.
In the bag with the door and the window on it?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do with all those pictures you made?
Send them, put them in the mailbox when Mommy comes.
And who are you going to send them to?
Sarah Bob.
And where do you see Sailor Bob?
On my TV.
And what kind of a program does he have?
Channel 12.
On Channel 12, yes. And he shows cartoons, doesn't he?
Yes.
What kind of cartoons?
Popeye cartoons.
And he has... You've seen him, haven't you, at the shopping center?
Yes.
And one day you went to see him up at the shopping center, and what did he give you? A goldfish.
A goldfish.
And he gave one to Mary and one to Isabel.
Yes. And he gave me and he gave us a silver pizza too.
With him and Mr. Mouse on it, right?
Yeah. No, only. Yes.
You like watching Sailor Bob, don't you?
I went to the sailboat when Sarah Bob was there.
Mm-hmm. Daddy took you on your birthday, didn't he?
Yes.
And Sailor Bob gave you another picture that day, too, didn't he?
Yes. It had Popeye was showing. Sarah Bob was showing.
Hello, Grandma and Grandpa. This is Reggie.
Side 2. This is a continuation of Johnny's time on the tape recorder. Now Johnny shall sing some songs. First he shall sing Happy Birthday, Grandpa. Presenting Johnny. Go to it, John.
Happy birthday, dear Sarah Bob. 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 Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa.
Very nice, Johnny. Now sing I've Been Working on the Railroad.
I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. Don't you hear the whistle blowing all the live long day? Choo choo and choo blow, choo choo and choo blow, choo choo and choo blow. Your horn.
Very good, Johnny. Do you have anything more to say? What? Would you like to say goodbye now?
I want to sing. I want to sing. Oh, Susanna.
Oh, Susanna. Okay, sing Oh, Susanna.
Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me, because I come from the bell, and I with my banjo on my knee. Now I will sing Happy Birthday, Gilly Dog.
Who's Gilly Go?
He's the guy who did. He's the guy who.
Is he a friend of Sailor Bob?
Uh-huh.
Is he a bird?
Uh-huh.
Does he fly an airplane?
Uh-huh.
Sailor Bob's other friend.
Mr. Mouse.
Does he have any more friends?
Uh-huh.
Does Brian?
Mm-hmm. And he has 2 snouts.
Okay, now sing Happy Birthday, Gilly Go.
Happy birthday, dear Gilly Go. Happy birthday, dear Gilly Go. Happy birthday, dear Gilly Go. Oh. Happy birthday, dear Gilly Go. Happy birthday, dear Mr. Mouse. 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 Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday to clowns. Happy birthday to clowns. Birthday to clowns. Happy birthday to clowns.
Okay, John. Now would you like to say goodbye to Grandma and Grandma, other relatives of England? They're going to listen to the tape.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Okay, now say you'd like to wish them a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I like to Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year.
A very good time now. Now say, signing off, John.
Signing off, Johnny.
I'm going to record from here. I believe that everything should be given a date and time. This is Saturday, December 15th, 1962. I am coming to you on tape from Richmond, Virginia. All is quiet this morning on this very cold December day at the Reynard household, comprised of numerous individuals, as you are well aware. When I said quiet, I had not for the moment heard the shrill shriek emanating from the recreation room in the basement floor of our home. Ricky is spread out in the middle of the dining room floor reading the sports section of the Richmond Times-Dispatch, which is our morning newspaper. We also have an evening newspaper printed by the same company called the Richmond News Leader. Therefore, there is no controversy whatsoever regarding news matter because the evening paper is a rehash of the morning news with a few Associated Press and UP or United Press editions in the evening. Ricky tells me it's completely different. They even have a different editorial policy, don't they, Ricky? Let us discuss this, my boy. How many times in the last year have you read the editorial column? All right. What Ricky means is the pictures in the sports section are different. Right, Ricky? Right. That's what he reads, is the sports section. And he has the word on Mantle, who was a slugger, and Maris, who was a slugger with the New York Yankees. Is that correct? Or are sluggers with the New York Yankees? Good stick men, as they say. Right? Maris isn't a good stick man. We will now hear from Ricky Renard. I just want to interview him on the matter of who is going to win the World Series in 1963. I don't think it's too early to get started on this. And Ricky claims they're going to be number one. Did you hear that? The Washington Senators. Washington is always in the cellar, as you probably know, and it's quite a joke over here in this country to find the Senators in the cellar. Well, this tape is a slow-moving tape, but some evening when you've got a lot of time, and I imagine you will listen to it. I know we've enjoyed very much the tapes that you've made in the past, and the comments from everyone. We only wish that we could visit together through the Christmas holidays. I know that Betty would certainly enjoy it. Incidentally, I just wondered what type recorder you have. At the present time, I have a Revere, which is a very handsome tape recorder, a very um, nice aluminum case and almost foolproof as far as handling the controls are concerned. A child could operate it without damaging it other than tearing tape. Right, Ricky? Well, I want to say that all the youngsters have made me quite proud of them this past year as regards their progress in school. Ricky will very likely make the honor roll this next time. He was very unhappy because he had two B pluses instead of and the rest B's. And if he'd had two A's, he could have made and the rest B's, he could have made the honor roll. But he's pushing for that next time. Reggie is having a little difficulty in the transition from grammar school, that is elementary school, that means up through the 6th year in school, into the junior high school, which is comprised of the 7th, the 8th, Ricky, 2 years, 7th and 8th grades, 7th, 8th, and 9th grades, and but we imagine he will straighten himself out. At least he's working in that direction. He needs to apply himself. Perhaps this year he'll be able to master the situation and take the bull by the horns and be able to do as well as Ricky. He has the ability, but he's not made the effort to apply himself seriously up to this time, and we believe he will. Once he establishes regular study habits, he'll find that there's no real problem to securing passing grades in school. Mary and Miffy are both doing well in school, they being in the 3rd and the 2nd grades this year. We were all, of course, very happy to finally locate a home, as you are well aware, and to locate here in Richmond, which is, as Betty has perhaps told you, a perfectly delightful city and a nice city in which to rear a family. Naturally, Richmond is sedate and upholds time-honored customs, and it is a city with parks, some recreation, interest in various community projects and stable schools, and actually fine stores, many delightful places to visit within just a short drive of Richmond. We've already visited Williamsburg and Yorktown as a family. Of course, in my travels throughout the state, I've spent time in just about every local shrine of any importance or interest, and there are those that I feel worthwhile for the family to see at some time, and others are relatively little significance or importance, and they can live without ever seeing them. But we do have a beautiful state. We hope that when you come over, that we'll be able to show you some of the nice parts of our fine state, our adopted state, and of course the native state, the home state of John Christopher, David Bruce, and Mary Elizabeth. Of course, Ricky and Reggie were born in Washington, D.C.'s Washington, D.C. and Isabel in Glenkirioch. You know, we don't have to go into the crisis over Cuba, but I think this was handled well, and I believe we're out of the woods now, even though I think you agree we could handle that situation much earlier and save the embarrassment of getting so close to catastrophe. Um, Reggie has not put anything on this tape yet, has he, Ricky? I think Reg should come in and say a few things. I want to say hello before I sign off to Daddy and to Mommy and to Herbert and to Mary and to Big John and to Anthony and and to those others whom I have met, Uncle Bill, his wife, and Eileen, and Bill, and I know I have not met Ian and his wife, but I've heard much of them. Enjoyed their Christmas card. And yeah, and I want to say hello to Ian's brother, Colin, and I just wondered how his handlebars were doing, or if he still had them. I thought they were quite intriguing at the time that I met him, and I only wish that I could do the same for myself. But I suppose that some of us have it and some of us don't. And I know it would be delightful to get together again, but an awful lot of water separates us, and until such time as they make transportation meet a time and money factor, I imagine that separations will be extended. As a matter of fact, it's not from a monetary standpoint that we're not able to visit the northern part of Virginia, some 160 miles from Richmond, to visit my mother and brother at Bolington, but it's one of pure time. On the weekend, the roads are crowded with traffic, and taking 6 youngsters over the road is quite a problem, considering the fact that they frequently have to stop. You must eat, that's time, and you know why they have to stop. So it really stretches the thing out into an ordeal, so that by the time you get home, you're exhausted. Of course, Betty is doubly exhausted. And then we have a hazard on our highways here. We have some real nutbirds run around with twin exhausts and bird tails, I mean beaver tails or squirrel tails on their antenna, and baby shoes or a skull and crossbone hanging in their window, and then they aim their car at whoever's unfortunate enough to come up over the hill at the wrong time. Of course, throughout the week there is not this same hazard, and if one keeps his eyes peeled for the farmer who might roll onto the road with a wagon, or the wide load approaching type of situation, the hazard of driving on our highways is very much reduced. Nonetheless, it is something that we must cope with in decreasing our travel or traveling only during those times that would be considered safe times. So consequently, we don't make that trip as frequently as what we would like to. Now that I've given you my editorial on the hazards of driving on American highways, I think we should step into a lighter note. At the moment, we are still in the living room. Reggie has joined us, and Bet is wrapping parcels and packages for England. Mary, Miffy, and Johnny, and the baby are assisting her. Ricky just examined the baby and found that David Bruce had actually had a very spectacular and tremendous involvement with wet diapers. Now, Reggie is here, and Reg would like to say a few words. I think that Ricky and Reg and I will kick this around discussing day-to-day comics as they come up.
Now for the national whooping scores. Mary 10, Isabel 8, Ricky 1, Reggie 2. Yay!
Yes, we did have a slight involvement here today, and I believe that earlier I commenced this tape with a dissertation on the importance of applying proper amount of pressure or pain to the derriere. Yes, Reg is here.
And Johnny 3.
And Ricky coming on strong.
And Betty has just joined us, and you can tell from the loud moo.
It's Elsie.
Hello, dear.
Elsie.
And I am now kissing Betty.
Born night.
I was a little concerned that you weren't leaving enough tape for the boys to have their say and ready to play the piano and
Well,
you're
only 3 3/4, but
and mother won.
and we're gonna have to talk all morning to fill this tape.
Okay.
Well, if you don't hurry up and get started in the morning, we'll be fine.
But we're talking.
Not number 1.
Reggie would like to play on the piano. As a matter of fact, if Ricky would hold this, Reg and I could demonstrate to you what we have done. All right, first Reg will play a song that he likes. That was very good, Reg. Incidentally, Reg is playing with 2 hands. I just wanted to point that out. Now, Reg and I, we have the tape recorder set up on the piano seat, but Reg and I would like to play our favorite song. We've jazzed up something here. And while Ricky holds the mic. Ricky, will you catch this mic?
Okay, maestro.
1, 2, 3.
Ricky was going to turn on the radio. We don't want to take the time right now to have a direct feed in, but we have a station here in Richmond called W. Lee, after General Lee by the same name. You know, during the Civil War, the fight between the North and the South. And a gentleman up the road, up Franklin Street, is a station manager for this radio station, and I get a big charge out of this station because they play all of these weird songs that the kids in the high schools and junior high schools jump to today. But they do have a very wide-awake station, and it was so cold here the other day that when W. Lee came on the air, they'd say, "It is now 22 chilly, woolly degrees." And it's just for this type of cutting up that this station has become one of the more popular radio stations in our fair city of Richmond. Ricky, would you turn on the Admiral, please? Ricky has a... Reggie is standing by as acting assistant engineer in charge of tape recording. Ricky is engineer in charge of transmission of something. We're not going to have a direct contact on this. We hope we don't get too much feedback, but we're going to endeavor to pick up one of Willie's wild songs directly. This is usually a football day here in Virginia. I don't know who's playing today. Who's playing today, Ricky? No. Can't you find something a little better than that? Some of the wild songs today are songs like the Alley Cat song. Now, I've been practicing Reggie's song here. I got this for him for Christmas. This is called the Alley Cat, and I thought he'd enjoy this. And it goes something like this, and the old one-finger impresario, while Ricky's endeavoring to pull in something over there on that box he has. The old one-finger impresario, we'll see what he can do. What do we...
A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Will you please swing the selector on that and see what we can find? Or you can find. Now this is the kind that Ricky jumps to.
Welcome back, everybody, to yours truly, Sam Jackson, and the Saturday Spectacular. Hey, call us there, 798-8484.
I don't like this.
Call for your dedication.
Ricky just said he didn't care for that type. Let's see if it's coming through directly. Ricky had some colored music on there. We want to play it for you. Put that colored... Now, Ricky, Reg, and Pop are all gathered here in the dining room.
Okay. I can't. It's not on running. This is the Christmas song by Paul Anka. Daddy's dancing around Desiree. Desiree. There he is. That's it. It's Jose Elastic, the Indian rubber band. It's the Indian rubber band doing his belly dance. Daddy just had a slight accident. He split his pants. He's swinging from the chandelier. His pants are shredding to pieces. He's dancing around the dining room with no clothes on. His derriere is showing. Yes, he runs! His derriere, take off! Yes, he runs, but on those clothes. What are you talking about? I said, Gypsy Rose, take off those clothes. Now let's go back to the subject of the the Christmas season. We're dancing about he's dancing around his derriere now. He's coming down the 50-yard line, he swings around third base for home, and he shoots him at the two-pointer. And he skits on his derriere. He's on the 115-yard line, I forgot. 110-yard line, no, that's right, 50-yard line. Now he's dancing around his derriere. There he is. Thank you.
Not at all. Now, we just had a little bit of fun with some nonsense by Ricky, but I think that semantic involvement of basketball, football, baseball, and I think golf was rather clever. Ricky informs me that he just thought of that on a spur of the moment. Now, their mother is still in the kitchen wrapping packages, so I am, of course, not at liberty to depart. Please, Reggie came in. Reg, you want to be more thoughtful. Johnny, would you like to say a few things to Grandma and Grandpa today? Just say good morning.
Good morning.
Say good morning, Grandpa and Grandma.
Good morning, Grandpa and Grandpa.
Now, actually, we still have approximately a half hour remaining on the tape. We know that it's fun to kibitz and horse around and so forth, and you can tell by this last 5 or 6 or 7 minutes that there's been quite a bit of horsing around done here. We do have our fun on occasion. Hi, John. What would you want to say? I know that you have some words of wisdom. What do you say this evening, John?
I want to sing a song.
All right, you go right ahead. But I thought you were going to say good morning, friend. Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Ricky said that.
Ricky, please. Let Johnny sing his good morning, friend. Just sing it, and we'll play it back for you. You know, what do you have to say for yourself?
I want to sing. I don't want to sing Good Evening Friends. Only I want to sing a food.
What is that?
I don't want to sing Good Evening Friends, but I want to sing lots of songs.
You do? Well, when you think of one, we'll have you sing it, right? Ricky and Reg and I, you know what we did before dinner today? We were throwing a feet ball, and we had a lot of fun. And we got Mother's car started. I had to get my car and bring it around, and we had to get a couple of cables and jump them over to the Rambler, and then we started it up, and we played while it was charging, didn't we? Now Ricky, can you play? I laughed when I sat down to play the piano. The piano still wasn't there. All right, Ricky, what are you going to play?
I don't know the name.
Well, Ricky is going to pick out something on the piano with
One finger exercise.
it's a one-finger exercise. Proceed. Has two hands, though. He died. Don't touch, John. Very good, Ricky. This was Ricky's piano recital.
And now I swing it.
And he is going to practice. That was lesson 1.
That was the first song.
Yeah, the first song in book 1. Well, I'm going to have to talk with you for a few minutes while Bed calls the boys. Now they're going to have an opportunity to come on and to talk with you for a while and to tell you about what has happened to them during this past year that is of interest, what their feelings are regarding the past, and what their hopes are for the future.
This is Ricky, and I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'd also like to wish one to all my other relatives in England and all the people I knew while I was there. And now I'll tell you about the life and the times of Ricky Menard. And first, I go to Albert H. Hill Junior High School, and that's about 2/5 of a mile from my home. And we have 6 classes over there, and I like my teachers very much. And my classes are math, history, English, gym, art, and science. And this last time I almost made honor roll. I just missed it by a little. But this next time I'm going to make it and stay on it until the end of the year. One of the reasons I enjoy this school is because teachers have been there a long time and they want students to be successful, so they'll be successful in TJ. That's a high school right near our house. It's about 4 blocks away, so I'm really situated for school for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 years. And now I'll tell you about my what I do in gym and everything. We go by the President's Physical Fitness Program. I'm sure you've read about that in the paper. And this last time we have intramural sports. That's where the different classes compete against each other for a championship in basketball, volleyball, football, softball, and the other sports we play over here. And they also have the junior varsity and varsity basketball, football, and baseball teams, and track and field teams. And both boys and girls. And I was on this year. I was on the junior varsity football team, and that's the 8th graders and the 7th graders that are good enough. And I played 4 positions while I was on the team, and they were center, guard, tackle, and defensive end. And this next year I'm going to try out for varsity, because by then I think I'll be good enough to try out for end, because my father's been passing to me in our neighbor's backyard. Every week I go swimming with my father at the YMCA. As you've heard, Mary says she's better than both Reggie and me. Well, she's right. We have a lot of fun down there, and I think it's fun because you get to go swimming during the winter, and you can swim all year round. And Reggie's got a full year membership. And now I'll tell you about my scouts. I belong to Troop 708, and it's up in the Grace Baptist Church. That's in Windsor Farms. That's a real swanky section of Richmond. It's in the West End. That's about a mile from where we live. And I'm in the Wolf Patrol. My scoutmaster's Mr. O.J. Davis. And we have a lot of fun up there. And on December 27th, we're going to have a scout party, a Christmas party, and I'm looking forward to that. And we have our meetings every Monday from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. And this next Monday and the Monday after that, before Christmas, we're not going to have a meeting because it's getting so close to Christmas. And now I think I'll sign off. So I'll say a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody that's going to listen to the tape. And I'm signing off, and if there's any tape left,
And don't you forget it.
I'll be back again. And that was my simple brother who's going to record next. Presenting Reggie. Dun, da, da.
Well, you just heard a word from,
Our sponsor.
let's say, it's not worth mentioning. And, Ricky, did you come here for a second? I want to play on the what, Mom?
Levy.
on the levee. And 3 shakes of a whistle.
Okay, maestro, a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
Very good.
And now Reggie will play the little train, knocking the down. A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
I'd like to play a song called Hymn of Praise, and it's by Francis Joseph Haydn. When Franz Joseph Haydn was a boy, he loved to play jokes on his friends. Often these pranks ended disastrously for young Haydn. In later life, we find that this sense of humor had not deserted him. When writing a symphony, he thought it fun to place a loud chord in a quiet place in the music to wake up those who had fallen asleep, he said. Franz Joseph Haydn is one of the truly great musicians of the world. He has been called the father of symphony orchestra. He is very industrious and wrote a great deal of music, string quartets, operas, sonatas, songs, over 100 symphonies, and much beautiful church music. His kindly, cheerful nature is reflected in the charm and freshness of his music.
And now I'll give Reginald down. A 1, 2, 3. Signing off.
Hello, this is Reggie again, and I'd like to tell a story. See, there were these two men up in Alaska, and see, they were having a whole mess of wild parties up there, and this Eskimo stole this man's son who came from the United States, and he was a weatherman. He was with the Weather Bureau. This Indian stole him, and he made an icicle out of his son. So this man stole the guy's son, and it says over the record that this came off of that he was going to make a fudgesicle out of him. And now my father's snoring. That was a sound from Paradise Island there. I would like to tell you about my room right now. I live on the 4th floor of our house, counting the basement. And, got a big dresser, a desk, a table, and a chair for me to work at to do my studies. And I've got a picture of Civil War. I've got Civil War money in a picture frame up on my wall. I've got a picture of St. George and a dragon, of Napoleon Bonaparte, of what war would be like if we had it with Russia. And I'm going to get an Albert Hill plaque up on my wall, which is have an orange shield, and then we'll have A and H, AH in orange. Now I'm working on that in industrial arts right now. I have 7 subjects in school. I go to Albert H. Hill School, which is already told you about it, so no need for me to. I have gym, science, voice, industrial arts, English, history, and math. Those are my 7 subjects. And just a little while ago, I counted about 30 birds on a tree in our backyard in there. Mom, what's the name of those birds that were in our backyard? And starlings. We have other kinds of birds. We have squirrels. There's a swing out in our backyard. I'm signing off now from Richmond, Virginia. And not your foreign unit, and I mean it. Now I am making room for Mother's recording in just a few minutes. We have
about 2 feet left, which she has time to say 3 words. Merry Christmas, and...
Well, they finally made it back again after almost another whole side. Everybody has been on now, and as you can tell what kind of a humorous family we are. At the moment, I'm feeding David. He probably hears noises. He keeps missing the boat. The girls just came in from their brownie party. They had been out all afternoon. They went carol singing at the crippled children's home and the old people's home. And then they went back to the church for a party, and they both came in with styrofoam candlesticks that they had made, and some cans that they had painted for pencil holders, and then their brownie leaders had covered an Alice band for their hair with white felt and put holly on it. They look very pretty. We'll make them nice headdresses for over the holidays. And then they'd had an exchange of gifts, and Isabel has a Santa Claus soakie. I don't know whether soakie has made its way to Great Britain yet, but it's a liquid that you put in the children's bathtub and bubbles up, and as the TV commercial goes, soakie soaks you clean in oceans full of suds. And the children are very fond of it. And they've taken to making the bottles in plastic containers of different cartoon characters, except this one happens to be a Santa Claus. And Johnny's very attached to the soakie bottles. He would like me to buy him one about every time we go to the store. Of course, there's one nice thing about them. You don't have to wash the tub out afterwards because it leaves no bathtub rain. The children have told you about their rooms and something about the outside of the house. We really do like this house a whole lot. It's very pretty in many ways when we get it when I finally get all the curtains up and things like that, it will be going to look much nicer. We had company this past week. Rick's mother came and brought an old neighbor of ours from Lovettsville. Mrs. Beatty, she's 80-some years old, and they came on Sunday intending to return on Monday, but then the weather turned so cold they stayed all week. We have had unseasonably cold weather this past week in Richmond, and as you mentioned in your letter, we had read and heard all about the smog. In fact, the picture on the front page of our newspaper one day was of a London policeman with his smog mask on. And also the newspaper you sent from with the pictures of the valley and the snowdrifts up around Nantier arrived yesterday. And we were happy to see that Man Webb came through in the proper fashion and got the current all back again. Isabel's sitting here now with her Santa Claus in her hand, and I have a feeling she's going to ask me, can she please take a bath, because she wants to try it out. Yes, you may take a bath, Isabel. Get your pajamas on, too. And I found the newspaper interesting to look at. Anyway, and the other things that have arrived that you mentioned that you had mailed, of course, I think I told you in my last letter that John's books had arrived and that I had read them to him. And the boys' books arrived yesterday, and the newspaper arrived yesterday. The photographs of your vacation arrived the day before, and so far we have had a lot of Christmas cards from England too this past week. So there must have been a lot of mail come in from England that was all mailed around the same time. It's funny sometimes, when you're away on vacation and you send a bunch of cards to the children, 2 or 3 of them may arrive one day, and then the rest may not arrive for 3 or 4 days. I don't know quite where they get hung up, but it doesn't always follow that because they were in the same mail, they will arrive at the same time. One day last week when Mother was here, I went downtown shopping, and I rode the bus down so I wouldn't have a parking problem, and spent a very pleasant afternoon around in the stores doing some of my shopping. They weren't too awfully crowded, I guess because the weather was so cold, and also it was in the middle of the week, and but there were enough people out to give it festive air, and of course the stores were beautifully decorated, and Christmas music was being piped all through the stores, and outside the Salvation Army had their Christmas carols. And I came home well laden down. I haven't really finished yet, but at least I know what I'm going to get and how many more things now. We've almost finished sending out our Christmas cards. We have just a few more to mail. And then the only thing remaining will be to do the decorating and the baking. I'm hoping that the girls will be able to help me with the latter there. And Rick and the boys put the electric candles in the windows today, so that we could find out how many extensions we would need to get them. They're advertising Richmond as the city of candlelight. It's even stamped on the envelopes. Maybe if you look on one that comes from us around this time, you'll find it stamped Richmond, the city of candlelight, on the cancellation mark. I was interested to read that you were going to have Venetian blinds in your new house. To me, they're very useful on the side that's very sunny. And we have Venetian blinds in this house that must be really quite old, I think, because they are stained wood and not metal, and not painted either. They're stained and, I suppose, varnished. they're inclined to make it a little dark. I would almost wish they were another color, but in the front room I'm going to put up some white Dacron panels and not use the Venetian blinds except in the summertime. Because with the two big evergreens that grow out front and then the big oak trees that stand on the curb, there is plenty of diffusion of the light in any case. On either side of the front steps we have Chinese holly bushes that now are covered with red berries, and some of the other shrubs we have, which I don't know the names, also have red berries on them and are very pretty. We lost quite a few of the berries from Chinese holly this summer because of the dry weather, and I didn't realize soon enough I should be watering them daily. However, Mary had a very nice letter from Anthony the other day, and she was thrilled to receive it. And sometime over the holiday she will be replying. He writes very well, and I was interested to see in the picture how big he has gotten. I wonder if he is taller than Mary now, or whether they're about the same size. He looks to me as though he's quite a lot bigger. And he handles his boat very well, I think. Those were beautiful pictures. Who would want to have black and white pictures after looking at those lovely color shots? Did you use a light meter when you took them? And did you have them all in prints, or did you have some transparencies for color slides? I wish that I could have a movie of John right now when he is cutting out with the scissors. In the Christmas package that we have sent you, there is one addressed to Grandma and Grandpa from John, and it contains some of the things that he cut out yesterday afternoon, especially for you. All of the work on these was done entirely by him, with no help from me at all. And considering that he's only 4 years and 1 month, he's very adept with a pair of scissors. And incidentally, they weren't even small scissors. They were full-size ones with a point on the end. And he loves to cut. He will cut out by the hour, and then he likes to paste them on paper. And sometimes he cuts out of a Spiegel catalog, and he cuts out boys and girls and radios and phonographs and furniture and clothes, and then another time he will draw his own pictures to cut out. But Mr. Mouse, that he was referring to earlier on the tape, is a hand puppet that is used in one of the TV shows here in the city. He draws Mr. Mouse's head and colors it and then cuts it out. And he draws Popeye and Olive Oyl and Bugs Bunny and quite a few other things. And then he'll cut them all out, and he'll have a whole handful of things that he's cut out and produce them and give them to you and say, "Here, this is for you." And he likes to crayon. He will crayon a lot too, and I'll have to send you some of his coloring, because in this too he's very meticulous. He doesn't scribble all over the picture, but outlines and colors carefully one place and another. Of course, he hasn't got to the point yet where he uses many different colors in one picture, or necessarily where he uses the right color. He's also started to try and write letters, but he calls them numbers, and he doesn't know their names yet. He still insists that A is 4. Well, of course, in some ways of drawing 4, A does look a whole lot like it. And he's been trying to write his own name, and so far he doesn't have all the letters just right, or in the right order. But I have a feeling it won't be long before he does write his own name. He looks forward to going to Sunday school every Sunday, because he enjoys the activity there with the other children. Here he has no playmates of his own close by, and he spends 2 hours there every Sunday morning, an hour for Sunday school and then an hour while we're in church. and this is very good for him. And he was very thrilled one week when he'd been sick on Sunday, and his teacher came by the next week to see him and see how he was. He was just as proud as he could be. You asked a question about the baptismal service. No, the children do not have godparents in the Presbyterian Church over here anyway. And the minister reads from the Presbyterian book describing the purpose of baptism and how when you bring your child to be baptized, you are undertaking to rear him in the way of the church and to see that he is instructed in the doctrines of the church as he grows older, and to give him a Christian home, etc. And then the child is named, and the minister asks the parents if they're going to undertake these different things, and then he presents the child to the congregation and charges them with the responsibility of nurturing this child, who is part of their congregation. David wore the christening gown, and he was one of the youngest babies ever to have been baptized in this church. He didn't cry too much. I'm watching the tape now. It's getting close to the end, and I don't know what kind of a note I will end on, but anyway, I think it's only in the Episcopal Church in this country, in the Catholic Church, that they have godparents the way we did at home. We didn't have any particular celebration other than just taking him to church and having him baptized. And we didn't wait for a day when anybody else would be here, because we didn't know when that would be. And in any case, it's usual only that the parents stand up for the child, and the father carries the baby, not the mother. This is all customary. Next Sunday, the girls will be singing in church. Their gowns are made like, university graduating gowns they wear in the university, and they're deep maroon color, and then the collars are dove gray taffeta, and they are cross-shaped with a long panel down the center, and then a panel across the shoulders, and they fasten in the back, and they look very nice in them. Next Sunday evening, they're going to have a Christmas pageant followed by a congregational supper with a nursery provided for the infants. So if we're in town, we will be going to that. And then Rick will be off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and we expect to be in Richmond for those 2 days. And then we will either be going to the farm the Saturday and Sunday before Christmas, or for the whole weekend over the New Year weekend, coming back on New Year's Eve. But as Rick mentioned earlier, you have to sort of pick your time during the holiday period so that you don't hit the time when the traffic is too heavy. It takes us about 3 to 3.5 hours to get up there. But it's really quite a pleasant drive. And there are some nice places to stop off when it's necessary for stretch your legs or something to drink. Oh, Davy, don't cry. I have to go get his this will be his 6 o'clock feed, and he is due for some more solid food. So far he's on cereal and fruit. And I think of the two, he prefers the fruit. He's growing all the time, and he really is going to have blue eyes, I think. They're rather a deeper blue than Mary's, sort of a gentian blue, rather than a china blue. And the color of his hair is still undetermined. I don't think he's going to be a real blonde. Or if he's blonde to start out with, I don't believe he's going to stay blonde. It looks to me as though he'll have sort of reddish-brown hair. But as to how he looks like Isabel, like Miffy did, and like Reggie did. Now I see we're coming to the end of the tape, so our best wishes for a very happy new year.